If you've ever tried a supplement everyone swears by, only to feel worse instead of better, you're not alone. I quit creatine after 1 week because I felt bloated, puffy, and honestly, like my body was rejecting it. But months later, I gave it another try with a completely different approach, and everything changed. Today, I'm breaking down what creatine actually is, why it's especially important for women over 40, the huge mistake I made the first time, and how exactly I take it now to see real results without any of the discomfort. So, if you've been curious about creatine or you tried it and gave up, this is for you. So, let me take you back to my first experience with creatine. I had been hearing about it all over social media, how it helps with muscle tone, strength, recovery, and many other amazing benefits. And at this stage of my life, I was all about finding simple and effective ways to feel strong and prevent the natural muscle loss that happens as we age. So I thought, why not give it a try? I did what most people do. I went online, read a few articles, ordered creatine monohydrate, and immediately started a loading phase. What does that mean? I took 20 grams a day for 1 week to saturate my muscle faster. I mean, it sounded intense, but I trusted the process. And let me tell you, within just a few days, I regretted it. I felt bloated, my stomach was uncomfortable, I was dealing with dehydration, even though I thought I was drinking enough water. I felt fatigued, not energized, and to top it off, I saw temporary weight gain, which I later realized was probably water retention. But in that moment, it was discouraging. By the end of that week, I was frustrated. I had lost all motivation to continue. I thought maybe my body just doesn't respond well to creatine. Maybe this isn't for me. So I quit. I put the container in the back of my cabinet and didn't think about it again for months. But here's the thing, I still kept hearing about creatine everywhere. All the fitness experts, longevity researchers, all the women's health gurus out there were talking about it. And eventually I started to wonder, what if the problem wasn't creatine itself? What if it was the way I took it? So let me back up and explain what creatine actually is. Because if you're like me, you probably grew up thinking it was only for bodybuilders trying to get huge. And that's not true at all. Creatine is a naturally occurring compound that's already in your muscles and your brain. It comes from amino acids, and you get it naturally when you eat fish and red meat. Your body uses creatine to produce energy, especially during high intensity activities like strength training or even mental tasks that require focus. Because of this, supplementing with creatine can lead to noticeable benefits such as increased strength, faster recovery, improved muscle tone, and enhanced mental performance. And here's what's important. Creatine monohydrate is one of the most researched supplements in the world. We are talking over 30 years of studies showing that it's safe, effective, and well tolerated. It's not a steroid, it won't make you bulky, and it's been trusted by researchers and athletes for decades. Now, here is where it gets even more relevant for women over 40. After 40, we start losing muscle mass naturally. It's called sarcopenia. And if you are in perimenopause or menopause, your estrogen levels are declining, which accelerates that muscle loss even more. This isn't just about aesthetics. Losing muscle affects your strength, your metabolism, your energy, and even your bone density. And if you're not eating a lot of red meat or fish, your natural creatine stores are likely already low. So supplementing can make a real difference. That's when I thought, okay, maybe I should give it another shot. But this time, I'm doing it differently. So here's what I changed. First, I skipped the loading phase entirely. Instead of forcing 20 grams a day into my system, I started with just 3 grams per day. That's it, just to see how my body would respond. After a few days with no issues at all, I increased it to 5 grams. And here's the thing, your muscles will still reach full saturation within a few weeks. It just happens gradually without all the bloating and stomach issues. Second, I started taking creatine with food, ideally something with carbs or protein. This helps your body absorb it better and reduces the chance of stomach irritation. For me, post workout works best. And third, I made hydration a real priority, and I mean consistently throughout the day. Creatine works by drawing water into your muscles, which is actually a good thing. But if you're not drinking enough water, that's when you get headaches, tightness, and the dehydrated feeling I had the first time around. So I make sure I'm drinking water all day long. And finally, I focused on consistency, not intensity. I wasn't trying to rush results or force my body into anything. I just took my 3 to 5 grams every single day, trusted the process, and let my body adjust naturally. Now, if you have tried creatine before and had a bad experience like I did, I would love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments if the loading phase was the issue for you as well. Okay, so what actually happened when I started using creatine the slow way? Within the first 1 to 2 weeks, I started noticing subtle changes. My workouts felt stronger and more stable. My muscles were recovering faster after training. I had less soreness, better endurance, and more energy during my sessions. It wasn't dramatic, but it was noticeable. Around week 3 to 4, I could see subtle changes in my muscle tone and firmness. My muscles looked fuller and tighter. Also, I felt less fatigue between sets and after workouts. And something I didn't expect, my mental clarity improved. I felt more clear-headed. And that makes sense because creatine also supports brain energy, not just muscle energy. Your brain uses almost as much creatine as your muscles do. So if you've been dealing with brain fog, creatine can actually help with memory, focus, and cognitive performance, especially when you are stressed or tired. By week 6 to 8, I had noticeable improvements in my strength and overall body composition. I felt strong but light, if you know what I mean, energized, leaner, and more confident in my body. No discomfort, no regret, just steady, sustainable progress. And here's something important. You don't have to be a gym person or do intense workouts to benefit from creatine. Even if you are not going to the gym or training regularly, you'll still see benefits, especially when you are stressed or fatigued. And again, if you're someone who doesn't eat a lot of red meat or fish, or if you are plant-based or vegan, your creatine stores are naturally going to be much lower. So supplementing can make a real difference, whether you're lifting weights or just want to feel sharper and more energized throughout your day. So here's what I want you to take away from this. You do not need a loading phase. The idea that you have to megadose creatine to see results is unnecessary. Slow and steady is the way to go. Then hydration and food pairing matter. Take creatine with a meal, ideally with carbs, and drink plenty of water throughout the day. Also, make sure you're using creatine monohydrate. That's the form that's been studied the most, absorbs easily, and is proven to be the most effective. If you've been on the fence about trying creatine or if you've tried it before and it didn't go well, consider giving it another try. But do it a gentle way. Your body doesn't need to be shocked into progress. It just needs consistency and the right approach. Now, before we wrap up, I do want to mention, for most people, creatine is incredibly safe when taken properly. But if you have any pre-existing kidney conditions or other medical concerns, it's always a good idea to check with your doctor first. In fact, that's my general recommendation for any new supplement. Always consult your doctor before you start. And if you want to learn how to boost collagen naturally, watch this video next.